Hey everybody, this is Josh from CollectionDX, and today we're going to look at the high metal VF-1J Valkyrie, the Hikaru Ichijo custom from Macross. This is 1/100 scale, and it is well on the small side, but it's not too terrible. What is a little misleading is the high metal branding, because there's, well, no metal in the thing really, except like in the feet, which isn't a lot, but it is sharp and has a nice it looks nice in all three modes, and it's fun to play with and easy to transform. It technically is a perfect transformation, but for the optimal effect there is a little bit of part swapping. So what I mean by that is that it does have small fists that can transform, but to look best, it has alternate fists. The landing gear does not fold away. The landing gear is replaceable parts, etc., etc. But like I said, in its essence, it is a perfect transformation because you don't have to swap any limbs, things like that. So here we have in its regular fighter mode, but it also comes with some armaments, which we will look at right now. So you can see here the fighter with its armaments on. It uses a separate set of wings, and the missiles just attach into it, plug in. Only comes with one set of missiles. You'll notice too that I've removed the landing gear here and replaced it with the flat panels. And there's also a clear part on the bottom that can attach to any Tamashi stand. In this case it's Act 3 stage, but there are different stages that are maybe more appropriate for mecha. This is more for like your Kamen Riders and that sort of thing. But it looks pretty sweet up on flying through the air and that sort of thing. And of course it's fully transformable, which we will show you next. So the first mode we're going to go into is a Gorok mode. First you take the stand off, which is kind of unclips, and you take the gun off too. Leave those in there for a minute. The wings, the missile pods are removable, but you can actually just pop out the wing and replace it with a new wing. Very good. Okay, so Gorok mode. Let's do this first. There's some interesting things on this there. Check it out. They slide out a little bit and then come in. That's kind of nice. Flips over. That comes down. Now everything is little pegs everywhere in this, which is nice because it makes a nice solid fighter mode. One of these has come out, but you can see there's pegs in the arms there. There's a peg in the back of the legs, so you can just bring that around. Kind of cool. Pretty basic stuff right there, Hands separate. Now these are on a little rail, you can see right there, and they come back and pop out. Okay, see how they come out. And now if you notice, there's a little clip right at where my fingernail is there, and there's a little tab here. So the idea is that this, maybe you can see it better from the back, so we'll slide forward, right, and then click in. So you do that with both sides. Pull it out, slide it forward, click it in. Okay. So you take the feet are metal, pull them out, open them up, and then the hands, the panel, you can actually open that up like that. It's a little slippery here. So here it is in Gorok mode. it's cool. It looks good. I like it. It's very posable. I'll go over more of this in robot mode, but one thing I don't kind of like, so here's the feet. The feet are all metal, but it kind of looks like, I don't know, it's a weird range of motion. It probably shouldn't have. It's a little too, it's hard to kind of get it to, like, alright, you get it in the right place, and then what do you gotta push it in or something? I don't know. So a little complaint there, nothing major, okay? I mean, it looks really cool. But you can see, like, I just moved it and the foot went bloop. So that's a little annoying. Alright, so of course you want to know Valkyrie Mode. Alright, so this isn't bad. Okay, first thing we'll do is we'll take off his regular windshield and replace it with a heat shield. Just simple enough. Okay. Now you pop off the legs a little. See how they're right? They pop off those holes, and you pull this thing backwards. Now, these vents are just little detachable pieces. And you replace them with the proper piece. Like so. Very good. Okay, so now here's what we got going on. Alright, so you take the section, you break it up, and it comes like that. These arms go out. And you can see what's going on here is that this is going to meet, okay? What you do, it's hard to see, so I'll just show you this way. You rotate this up like that, so these little pegs are facing forward, and then pull the head up like so, turn it around. For some reason the clearance on this thing isn't the best for this head, but it's not bad. Okay, so alright, just like that. Like that. There you go. So these, the idea is that these little balls will pop into these little, I don't know what they're, intakes or lights on the nose. Okay, and there's a little bit of metal in between. You see that? That they'll kind of snap in when they're in place. Okay. So it's takes a little, like, a little fiddling to get it in just the right place. But we should be used to that by now, huh? I know I am. A little fiddling. Straighten the legs out from go walk mode. Okay. Wings down. Tilt the head a little bit. Blah blah blah. Anime magic. Look! We've got a Valkyrie who looks a little hungover. So, I mean, there he is, right there. He's very posable, very articulate, whatnot. Cool joints there. Good range of motion, independently moving knee guards, ball joint on the hips, ball joint on the shoulders. They go out, they turn. These are actually double jointed here, so they're probably supposed to be like that, I'm guessing. Okay. Head is nice and sharp. The only thing the backpack is out a little bit much from my liking. I don't really know what the deal is with that. So it comes out a little bit far from the back in my opinion, but not a big deal. And there's that issue with the feet again where they splay out a little too much. They have a tendency to do that. you know, or that. You can get it right by pushing them back up in the leg a little bit, and then they'll look good. There you go. Right? Sharp? Yes, nice. Good. So, there are 2 sets of additional hands that they give you, and I'll explain them to you as easiest way possible. There's 3 sets. Of course, there's the tiny hands. They're on there now. Then there is a more realistically proportioned, sharp mechanical sort of hand, and then a Pillsbury Doughboy kind of anime hand. Okay. So there's a open hand, closed hand, and trigger hand. So for the purposes of this exercise, I'm going to use doughy anime hands. Okay. Gun. Of course it does that. The gun actually comes with the part of the trigger is already on it. So you just kind of insert it like so. These pop out pretty easily. Okay. Huh? Nice, right? So now let's see how it looks compared to some other things in a similar scale. First, we have the Toonami Regault Battle Pod. I mean, it's supposed to be. I mean, it's pretty. It's. I don't know. The Regault should be bigger, I think, for 1/100 scale, or the fighter smaller. I'm tempting to think the Regault should be bigger, but they look pretty good together. Another one in 1/100 scale that is more kind of cool to see is the Fire Valkyrie from the same High Metal line, you know, which is a brilliant, brilliant toy. I like it. I like it. It's nice. It's a nice quality plastic toy with a few metal parts. Don't go into it expecting high metal. It's plastic. Well done plastic, very sharp, very tight. It's well engineered. It looks pretty good. There's a little bit of empty space that I'm not kind of digging, like behind the head, in the sides. But you know, the sides we're used to, but behind the head, that's a lot of empty space there. The feet are a little, like I say, I'll put them down a few times. You can see this starting to splay out a little bit, but it looks sharp on the shelf. Really, it does, and it's fun to play with. You can get yours at Engels.com. And this was Josh from CollectionDX saying, see you next time.